The learners deal in Nishmas Etta Ahuva Bazak Masachas Bechoros Perches Mishna Tes. These last two Mishnayos go back to Dine Bechor of Yerusha. That a Bechor is Noitel Pishnai B'Nichsei Av. We said that the Bechor gets a double Yerusha. The pasuk says, "Zokt our Mishnah Ve'ina Noitel Pishnai B'Nichsei." It's dafka by the father, where the pasuk says, "V'loi Mishpat HaBechora." It's mashma in his property. The halacha of Bechor exists, and not in the property of his wife. This also the Gemara learns out, because pasuk says Asher Yimatza Loi, mashma that the father had it b'shas misa, and not that which his property became better after misa, and also not biroi, which is like receivables that he did not have at the time of misa, but came to him afterwards. Now the end of the Mishnah goes on this halacha of not being noitel b'shvach, the things that the property became better, v'loi biroi, and not in receivables that he did not have. That halacha not only applies to Bechor, it also applies to three other cases. V'loi ha'isha b'ksuvasa, that when an isha is goiva the ksuva from her husband, it's dafka from property that was muchsik, and not from property that became better. The nechasim were mashbiach la'achar the misas habal. The Gemara speaks out, even though normally a bal choiv is goive from shvach, and a isha collecting for ksuva is like a bal choiv. Over here they were mikuli ksuva. They said that the isha does not have the right to collect that, and also v'loi biroi, she wouldn't collect receivables that the baal had but did not yet collect at the time of misa. Same thing, which the Gemara says is Tanai Ksuva Kiksuva. This is one of the Tanaim of the Ksuva that the father has to feed his daughters. So those daughters can't collect their mezainis from property that their father was mishabeach la'achar misa, or from ro'i love la'achar misa. And lastly, v'loi hayavam, a yavam also to collect from his achameis, even though the Torah says he yarshins all his property when he does yibum, he yarshins his brother's property, but it has to be dafka muchsik, not the shvach and not the roi. And the Mishnah ends off, the kulin einoitlin b'shvach, v'loi b'roi b'muchsik. What's this klal? The Gemara says shvach is la'asuye shvacha de b'meila, even if the brother wasn't tereach in it, and v'loi b'roi k'muchsik is to include property of the grandfather, which will eventually fall to the Yerusha to the father, but at that point he didn't have it, so the collection wouldn't apply to those things. Mishnah Yud, Elu she'enan chayzerin b'yovel. So there's a machlekes in this Mishnah. The Tanakama holds that the following 3 and 4, according to Rameir, things do not go back to Yovel. It means even though normally properties go back to the original owner by Yovel, but when you receive the property through these 4 oifanim, then it doesn't go back. The first case is Bechora, and the Gemara says that it's like Yerusha, just like the first chelek, the regular chelek of Yerusha doesn't go back b'yovel, so too the Pishnayim doesn't go back b'yovel. The second thing is Yerush es Ishtoi, that this man Amar held Yerusha is the Raisa, and Yerusha doesn't go back. The third case is Miyabim es Eishes Achiv, Yibam, which is also similar to Bechor. The Gemara says Bechor Kai Rachmana. And Rameir says, V'matana divrei Rameir. Rameir holds matana also does not go back to Yovel. He learns it out from the fact that Dafka, the Torah says a mecher goes back to Yovel and not a matana. The Chachamim said, no, matana kimecher. The Gemara says they hold to Shuvul, the Rabbi says a matana, that even a matana goes back b'yovel. So that's the first sheet of the Mishnah. Rabbi Eliezer argues and says, Kulon chayzin b'yovel. All these 4 things go back b'yovel. The Gemara says that he holds like the Chachamim, the Gabe, Teshuvah, the Rabbi says a matana, the matana goes back b'yovel. That's step number 1. And step number 2 is he holds that Bechor Pishnayim is considered a matana. And similarly, Miyabim is, we said, is just like Bechor. And Yerushas Ishta, he holds that Yerushas Isha is not the Raisa, it's only the Rabbanan, and therefore it would go back b'yovel. The Mishnah ends off, Rabbi Yochanan ben Brogoim, Yerushas Ishta, Yaakov ni mishpacha v'yinaka lahem min hadamim. So the Gemara says he can't hold like Rabbi Eliezer that it goes back b'yevel because Yerushas Ishta is only derabanan, because then why would it be v'yinaka lahem min hadamim? So the Gemara says really it holds Yerushas Isha as the rice, and therefore be'etzem it shouldn't go back. And talking about as we hear a case that he got a beis hakvaras from his wife, and it's a pigam from the mishpacha to stay by him. So therefore he has to give it back to the mishpacha out midirabanan. The Rabbanan said you could deduct that amount of what the Gemara says of the mei kever ishtay amount, because he had to bury his wife only because he was getting Yerusha. Now he has to give back the money, so he doesn't now anymore have to pay for the mei kever ishtay. So he deducts that amount off of what he's returning back to them.